started. So welcome to the Helix webinar series. Today's session, we're going to be covering Service Catalog Curator. This is a workshop, one of many. So some of you may have joined us previously on the Insight Finder and Service Collaborator. So today we're going to be focusing on Service Catalog, and it's the configuration workshop ITSM. Joining me today is Riddhi. Riddhi will introduce herself very shortly. She is one of our senior Helix adoption advisors, and joining her today is also a team that will be answering your questions, including our product team and also other customer success adoption specialists. So before I hand over to her, just a couple of reminders. There is the Q&A section of Zoom. If you've got any questions during this session, please do ask those questions during the session, and then at the end we will have roughly around 15 to 20 minutes depending on how long it takes to get through. This is our first session on Service Catalog Curator, so we can't be 100%, but we will make sure you get time to speak to us live. The other thing to note is we do have an updated PDF document of the configuration guide. I will be sending that out. However, if you've only just registered or you're using someone else's shared link, I would just ask if you can put into the Q&A that you need the configuration guide sent to you and just with your email address, and I will send that out during the session. The other thing to note as well is we do have two polls that we're going to share. I will start that one off when I hand over to Riddhi, and the poll will just be a set of questions that will ask about your maturity and your adoption, and if you need any further help will be the last set of polling questions that we'll send. So if you have got time, please fill that in because it will definitely help. We are here to help you as a team, and we will also talk to you about where the community pages are to ask further questions. So without further ado, Riddhi, I'm going to hand over to you and to get us started.
Thank you, Sam. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. Very warm welcome to the workshop of Service Catalog Curator today. We are here for a practical hands-on session covering the BMC Helix Service Catalog Curator. My name is Riddhi Latigra. I'm a part of a Helix adoption advisory team. I'm with BMC Helix more than 7 years now. I'm delighted to be your host today from stunning and yes, very chilly Canadian Rocky Mountains, Alberta province of the Canada. Let me move to the next slide where we are going to discuss about the agenda. And in today's agenda, we are going to discuss about the prerequisites, Service Catalog Curator overview, Service Catalog Curator use cases, the configuration elements, the configuration hands-on experience, and also a service catalog creation demo. And at the final stage, we'll be opening with the Q&A. With that, I'm moving to the next slide. Okay. So Service Catalog Curator Workshop. So we want you to walk away with the fully functional Service Catalog Curator. If you don't complete the full setup with me, so please don't worry about it. I wanted to assure that our goal is to still ensure that you gain exceptional knowledge on how you can utilize this powerful agent. I think there is a lag. Let me just turn off my video to save some bandwidth. Thank you. Okay. We are going to use some of the tools, Innovation Studio, HelixGPT Agent Studio, DWP Catalog, and the Mid-tier. So what if you get stuck? So don't worry about it. Our Q&A, our experts are available to answer your queries. Please feel free to drop your questions into the Q&A section. As I said, our goal is the fully functional Service Catalog Curator for BMC Helix ITSM in your environment. If you require a personalized assistance to implement this agent in your environment, we would be delighted to schedule a one-on-one session. So simply reach out to your customer success manager, or you can contact us directly via email at success@bmc.com. Just to mention that to keep our session moving efficiently, and as I said, I'll stick to the sequence and won't be able to jump back and ahead in the explanation. So please utilize our dedicated Q&A channel. Moving to the next slide of the prerequisites. So some of the prerequisites that we have to keep in mind before configuring or start configuring the Service Catalog Curator. Your environment should be on a BMC Helix Service Management and platform minimum on a 25.2. However, the recommendation is 25.4 version. Same as BMC Helix GPT Agent Studio. We require a minimum 25.3. However, we recommend 25.4. One of the prerequisites regarding the roles that may require in configuring the Service Catalog Curator from the Innovation Suite side, you need an admin role to be present or enabled. For HelixGPT Agent Studio, you need to assign the HTM admin persona from the mid-tier, or you will have the Helix ITSM administrator. You will be fine, and you can proceed with the Service Catalog Curator. And some of the additional catalog assistance access are required for the following: catalog administrator, internal supplier admin, internal supplier, catalog subtenant admin, catalog embedded supplier IS, etc., which are mentioned over in the screen. The next most important prerequisite is the LLM subscription. So at this moment, we are supporting two providers. One is OpenAI, and another one is Google Vertex. So there are the model names are listed over here, which are currently supported, and you can go ahead with the configuration with that once you have the LLM subscription. So once you have the LLM subscription, you'll be enabled with the API endpoint URL, API key, and the version. So these three component is important to register your AI connection for the Helix GPT. Moving to the next slide. Service Catalog Curator. So I would like to give an overview about it, what it is, why it is required for any of the organization. So in a very simple definition, I would say the Service Catalog Curator streamlines the service catalog creation, making it easy to curate. It optimizes the workflows and also tailor your experience. Let's discuss one of the scenario that I come through. As a catalog administrator, you know that the creating a service in a catalog is often a multiple steps. It's also a time-consuming process. It involves defining details, creating a questionnaires, setting up a localization if you are going with the multiple languages, and also building a fulfillment workflow. These all manual works or manual effort can lead to a delays and the catalog spoils. So this is precisely why BMC Helix has developed a service catalog curator agent. Its purpose is to fundamentally change how you interact with the catalog. So it simplifies the service catalog creation process, which enabling the effortless curation, workflow optimization, and the personalization. So instead of clicking through dozens of the fields, the curator allows you to focus on a what and why, not on how. So it shifts the complete effort from manual configuration to easy descriptive and intent-driven design. In this session, I would like to discuss more about the available use case you can implement on the Service Catalog Curator. Moving to the next slide to discuss about which are the use cases are present. Okay, so use case one, which mentioning in the slide is generate a catalog profile, questionnaires, and workflow. So which simplifies and accelerate the service catalog creation. So basically here the focus is on a creation of the catalog profile, questionnaires, and the workflows and other components. This use case ties directly back to your goal of simplifying the catalog admin's job by generating the profile, questionnaires, workflows simultaneously. Using this use case, the curator reduce multiple hours, multi-steps process, It streamlines the activity, and also it's resulting in a faster service delivery. And if anyone has a very less technical knowledge about creating a catalog, that is useful, and very great agent and the use cases available. So as you can see that in the screen, this is a catalog assistance, which is one of the button available. This is we call as a live chat. So with the live chat, you can have a chat with the live catalog assistance in a very natural languages. Moving to the next slide, where we are discussing the another use case, real-time edits to the catalog service creation via the chat use case. These use cases emphasize the ability to make an instant modification. So if you while you are creating a service, if you would like to modify instant modification of any of the component for the for the service profile or questionnaires, service cost and quantity, etc., you can you can do the real-time modifications. There are some outcomes if you are creating a service using the catalog service curator. It accelerates the catalog creation. So if you are in draft mode of a creation or the service creation process, so it really minimizes the efforts. Also, it enables the real-time service updates. So it's enabling the real-time updates for any of the service creation. Moving to the next slide. Translate the service catalog into the multiple languages. So here it is streamline the multi-language support by automatically translating the services, removing the burden of the manual translation. So whichever the supported languages that we have available, you can translate your service into the different languages. Moving to the next slide. Okay. One of the important slide is or the HelixGPT Agent Studio. While you are configuring the Service Catalog Curator, we are configuring the three modules. First one is the models. The another one is the agent. We are using the out-of-the-box agent, and we are using the out-of-the-box skills. As I covered before, we need Innovation Suite admin permissions, and I will show you in the configuration demo that how you can access the Agent Studio. So it is very easy. You can go to the BMC Helix Innovation Suite, and from there there are two ways of accessing the BMC Helix Agent Studio. For the Service Catalog Curator, we recommend use the out-of-the-box skill available because it is a fine tune for the use cases available and that we have discussed in the previous slides. Copying and editing the out-of-the-box skill is optional, where the customer would have specific customization needs. But at this moment, we are recommending to use the out-of-the-box skill. Moving to the next slide. Configuration demo. Okay, thank you. Um, this is a very familiar screen for us. This is BMC Helix portal, where you are seeing multiple tiles are available. The one of the tile is that we are going to use it is a BMC Helix Innovation Suite, and another one is the BMC Helix Digital Catalog. So as I discussed, there are only a three component that we are going to configure it. So it's very pretty easy and very straightforward configuration. So the first step is the model configuration. So for the model configuration, you need to go to the Helix Innovation Suite. I will select the style and click on that. That will open in another browser window. If you want it to be a forward, in a 10 seconds, you have to wait, or otherwise you can click here, which will open the Innovation Studio. By default, you will be in the workspace section where all the applications are, all the components are selected. Here we have to select the BMC Helix Agent Studio. So there are two ways to go there. The first one is click on the application, scroll down, and you can see the Helix GPT Agent Studio. You need to click on that. The another way is at the right side of the corner, you can see the application launcher, this uh, 9 dots. If you click on that, you will see there is an option, Helix GPT Agent Studio. So I would prefer this option and I will click on that, which will open another browser window, which will be a application of the Helix GPT Agent Studio. As you can see that in this screen, there is a setting button or setting wheel, which is at the right corner. I will click on the setting. I will expand the Helix GPT option from the left panel. I will click on the connection drop panel. I will I will click on the connection option and select the AI service provider. Once you click on AI service provider, you will see the different tiles are available, which are available out of the box for all customers. As per your LLM subscription, as I said in this one of the slide, at this moment, the Service Catalog Curator is supporting Google Vertex and Azure OpenAI. So for my workshop, I am using the Azure OpenAI. So I'll just scroll down towards which I have configured my LLM or the AI connection. I will click on this one, which will open the edit model. But if you are new to that and one of the option is not applicable, you can click on the add button over here. I will show you, and you can provide all the information. But since I have already registered, so I will utilize that one. And if you notice that we are using the Helix GPT 401 and the vendor is Azure OpenAI. We are using the prefix over here so that whenever we apply this model to the skill, it will be easy for us to identify which model we are using for the curator or any of the Helix agent. So for the vendor, I'm using Azure OpenAI. Name is HelixGPT 4.1. Authentication I'm using as an API key. And the version you will find it when you subscribe the Azure OpenAI. And I'm mentioning my API endpoint and the API key and the rest of the default configurations. Once you are set here, you need to click on a test connection. So I'm clicking on a test connection. You will see the successful connection message right here, connection successful. Once you see this message, you need to save this connection. So I'm going to save this connection. You will see the message model and it is a model and the name of the model is updated successfully. That means you are completing your first step of the model configuration. Now, the next step is we have to assign this model to the digital workspace service catalog curator skill. So as you can see in the same screen, there is an option called skills at the left corner near to the Helix GPT Studio. So I will directly click on that, which will refresh the page and that will show you the application drop down. From this application drop down, you need to select Digital Workspace Service Catalog Curator skill. For that, we need to select the application BMC Helix Digital Workspace Catalog. I'm clicking on that. Once you click on that, it will show you the out-of-the-box skill available. As you can see, it is available Catalog Service Curator. There is an option, there is a radio button available to select it. And at the right side, you will notice that few of the fields are available, like model, prompts, uh, model, and the agents. But before that, you have to select the radio button of the Catalog Service Curator. So I'm clicking on that. You will see that the options are changed because we are using the Catalog Service Curator out of the box skill. You will notice that model option where there is a drop down where you can see the multiple options are available. But for the Service Catalog Curator, the Azure OpenAI and the Google Vertex both are supported. So I'm clicking on the Azure OpenAI. I'm selecting my model, BMC Helix GPT 401. I'm selecting Helix GPT 401. If you see that it is modified on a 19th November. And also, if you don't remember the name, you can see the modified version of the model if it is already configured previously. If not, you need to note down your model name so that you can easily find it from the drop down. So I'm going to select this one and I will click on apply. So now our model is associated with the out of the box skill for the Service Catalog Curator. The second step is completed. Now the third step of the configuration, which is the last step, you need to go back to your portal, Helix portal. So if you are following me on a sequence, you will see that the Helix portal browser window is already open at the left corner. I will click on that. So you will see that Helix portal where there is a one tile present we call as a BMC Helix Digital Workspace Catalog. I will click on click on that, which will open another browser window. And you will notice this screen. In this screen, you have to click on the services menu, which is the second menu. Click on the drop down. Click the services menu and select the services option. Click on that. You will notice that there is no any chat option available or any button available because we have to enable it. And we are going to enable it from the same screen. At the right corner, you see the wheel button, which we call as a setting. So I will click on a wheel button. That will open an application settings window. Scroll down a little bit. You will see the option called Service Catalog Curator. If you notice that the toggle button is off at this moment, so we have to enable this toggle button. So I'm clicking on the toggle button, which will enable the Catalog Assistant button. So now, once it is done, click Save. And you will see the message, application settings have been saved. Here, one point I would like to mention. If you encounter an issue where the toggle repeatedly disabled itself, please don't worry about it. It is due to one of the known defect of the 25.3. We have provided step-by-step workaround, which you can find it in the configuration guide, which is shared by the SAM. It is located in the reference section on the final page of that configuration guide. So you have to go a step by step on a workaround, and then you need to enable the Service Catalog Curator toggle, and which will stop disabling itself. Okay. So once you enable the Service Catalog Curator from this application settings, you will notice that in the screen, the Catalog Assistant button is enabled, which is your live chat and going to use in a creation of the service, real-time modifications, natural language chat for the catalog assistants, the transformation to the any of the languages. So you have to click on the catalog assistance. So I will click on the catalog assistance. Once you click on that, another browser window will open. You will see that this is a chat or the chatbot, kind of a chatbot. It is open. So there is a button you call a guide me, because you might be creating a service for the first time and you don't had the previous experience. So don't worry about that. We are providing the button which will give you a complete instruction how you can create the service. So I'm going to click on a guide me. It will take a while and it will show you. Happy to help. You can specify any of the following your for your service. So you can provide the service name. You can select the template, any specific template that you would like to use. You can mention the cost, quantity. These are the examples that you can provide while creating the service. So along with that, it is giving you a one beautiful example how you can follow this example and create your own service. So here you say create a service for the guest Wi-Fi access. It should use the IT request template and may require versioning. And additional languages are French, Spanish, and German. But don't worry about it. We will go one by one. Okay. So I'm going to showcase one of the example. Over here is for the employee onboarding service. So I will say, so instead of typing, I have already ready prompts to time save. I'm going to say, create service for employee onboarding. So I will click on a send message. So Service Catalog Curator and the LLM works together in behind the scene, and it start preparing the service. It is in the draft mode. So it is on a in a creation mode right now. You will notice that different sections are listed, like service parameters. In that you see that multi-language indicator is enabled. For me, it is I have already enabled because I wanted to showcase you the multi-language transformation use case. A logo is I'm using the default logo of the BMC. The service name I have already provided, which is the employee onboarding. By default, it is selected the template name from the out of the box HR. The version is 1 because we are creating at this moment. We have not done changes on the version. If you notice that service profile, it is giving the attributes, service catalog, categories, is a human resource, fulfillment type is an internal workflow, tags are provided, documents, media, service accepts, and service description. Little scroll down. If you little scroll down, you will see the which are the workflows like generic approval and fulfillment creation for the onboarding, employee onboarding. Which are the approval is required is manager. A fulfillment requirement is a work order. There is a questionnaires. So if you notice that few of the questionnaires like full name, email address, date of birth, department, start date, special requirements. And at the last, service cost and the quantity, my bad. But I would like to add two more questions to the questionnaires section. So if you can notice that at this moment, we have the following questionnaires, and I am going to ask, can you add two more questions, which is applicable to this example? So I will say add two more questions to the questionnaires. So here we have to provide where we are asking to add the questions. So as a best practice, you need to provide the section name. So I'm telling add two more question to the questionnaires section. So it will understand that, okay, I have to add two more question to the add questionnaires section. So I'm clicking on a send message. It will take a while and processing this section, and you will notice that it is by default taking the 2 additional questions. If you notice that, let me little scroll down so that you can notice that the last question was additional information special requirement. And now let me just take down. You will see that it taken 2 additional questions. The first is the preferred working location. I didn't mention about which one you have to take it. So by default, whichever is the applicable for the service creation example, here we are taking as an employee onboarding. So it is a logical that it is asking that what is the working location, which language you referred, which language you spoke, etc. Right? So I'm good with this. I will say, um, can you add one more location? Say, for example, um, uh, any offline location maybe. So let me see. I can say department location. I would like to add the department location. So I will say, I will say to curator, can you add department location to the questionnaires? It will take a while, and it will process the questionnaires working with the LLM in the background. Let me little scroll down. Okay, so notice that employee under the employee details, it is saying the department location. So it is asking that please specify the physical location or the office of your department. So it logically applies the questions, these 2 questions, and which I have asked externally. If I wanted to add more into that, so like office number, phone number, I can also add that. So you need to say about, can you add contact details, the office and phone number? So let's do it together. I have already prepared that. So that will understand the spelling mistakes beautifully, and it will create or add the questions into that questionnaire section. So this is we call as a real-time edits to the while creating the service. So let me scroll up little bit. You notice that here in the personal information, only a full name, email address, and date of birth available or present earlier. But after that, I asked curator to add office number and the home number. So it beautifully added the office contact number and the home contact number. Now, I'm okay with this. And if you notice that we have at the very first prompt, we have said create a service for the employee onboarding. But I changed my mind. Okay, I have to create some prefix applicable to my organization. So I can say that change the service name to BMC Helix Employee Onboarding. So it will change the name from employee onboarding to BMC Helix onboarding within a second, or maybe less than a second. Now I will go ahead with the another use case that we have already spoke about on translation on a multiple language. So for this workshop, I have selected a Spanish. So let me ask curator to, can you translate to the Spanish? So it will take a while. That will available because the multi-language indicator is already enabled. So that will create a service with the available components like a service. If you see that, the service name is coming in a Spanish. If you scroll down, it is still in a creation mode. If you see that it is an English version, so if I scroll to the little right of the service profile section, you will notice the Spanish. Okay, so my bad. I will scroll to the right. You will notice that service profile of the Spanish version is updated. Okay, so beautiful. This is so beautiful. And the questionnaires. So one of the most interesting questionnaires. So when you translate the service to any specific or the supported language, here it is a Spanish, the questionnaires are as well converted into the or maybe additionally giving in your Spanish version, right? So if you see that the questionnaire is in the Spanish version, it is so beautiful, so beautiful. Service and quantity. So let me update over little over here because I don't want to give anything on a free. So let me do it. So can you update the price to $100 to the service cost? Let me do it. Okay. So that will beautifully update the service cost price as 100. So Uh, and also, I'm not agreeing with the payment type is once. I wanted something on a yearly basis. So I will change, say that, okay, can you change the payment type to yearly? So it will give you it will think as a logical and give you a result. Let's see what the result is giving. See, it's giving the payment type is recurring, price is $100, payment schedule is yearly. So it is giving you more information, only free. So these are the options are available. Okay, you can choose from any of them. Only free, only once, recurring are allowed for the payment type, receiving yearly. So that's the reason it is updating as a yearly. Now you will see that for the every section, it is enabling you at the any point, you can confirm your service. Okay. So if you, I'll just little scroll up, you will see every section, it is saying you or enabling you to create the service at any point. It says you can confirm the service creation by typing a create service, looks good, or I confirm. So I will say, yeah, I confirm, I'm good with this. So it will take a while and say that attributes created successfully, the whichever the attributes we have seen, and the service is created successfully with the great name BMC Helix Employee Onboarding with the service ID 1017. Now, where you can see the service. So I'm good I'm good with this window. Now there is another window is already open. If you are following me, our HelixGPT digital catalog, which is this one, digital workspace catalog, my bad. You will note you have to just refresh the browser. I'm clicking on the reload this page. You will see that BMC Helix Employee Onboarding Service is created. So within a few minutes or few chats in a very natural language, you have successfully created your service. I will select the checkbox. I will click on an action to open this service. You will notice that service option window is appear at the right corner. There is a button at the right corner, which is the languages. That means you can see which are the supported languages for the service catalog curator, and you can create the service using those languages. So I am clicking over here on a languages, which will enable one of the drop down here. And if you click on that, you will see all the supported languages. I have selected already a Spanish while creating the service. So I'm good with this. Now to see our service at the DWP, as you can see, the by default, when you create the service catalog, when you create the service using the service catalog curator, it will be a by default in a draft mode. You have to explicitly approve it and publish it. Excuse me. So there is a three dots over here. I will click on that and you will see the option approve and publish. So I'm going to click on approve and publish. You will see the message, the service has been published. I'm going to close this window. I'm okay with that. So if you are following with me, I'm going back to my Helix portal. I'm clicking over here. And to verify the service, I'm going to use my BMC Helix Digital Workspace. So this tile, I'm going to click on that, which will open in another browser window. Very nice look. If you notice, or if you wanted to check that my service has created and used which out of the box template, you can go back to your chat screen. You can scroll up a little bit. I'll just go towards the template name. So where the template name is the HR. Okay. So I will go back to my DWP and I will click on explore to see my all available option where you can see the human resources already there. I will click on that. Now I will say onboarding. It is already there. So I will click on employee onboarding. Or you will see that the BMC Helix employee onboarding 1.0 version, because we have not changed the version. So you can click on that to see the service. So you can see that this service facilitates the onboarding. So everything is taken automatically along with the curator and the LLM. So, and the template. So I will click on the request now. So here I will say full name is Corey. Full name is email address is corey@bmc.com. Date of birth is July 1, 2000. Okay. Office contact number 123456, which are not mandatory, but I just wanted to share it with you how it is pretty forward. And the next button is enabled after filling the all options. So now you will see that the department location, which if you remember during the creation, we have explicitly mentioned or asked curator to mention the department location. So in the department human resource, start date is July 1, 2025. Okay. Department location is Chicago, say for example. The next button is enabled. You notice that preferred working location that we have already, there are two additional questions that we have been asking. We have asked special requirement, nothing, on-site or remote or something that you have to speak. I say it's language is spoken Spanish, and you can click on a submit request. The request is submitted. So beautifully within a few minutes, without any technical knowledge, as a catalog administrator, you can create a service within a minute. You can publish it, and you can drive through the digital workspace. Okay, I hope this workshop is useful and interactive and very informative. If you have any questions, please feel free to continue in asking in a Q&A section. So let me
just go through roadshows. We are getting to the end. There'll be a point in time I won't have to put this slide back up again. So hopefully some of you that are on here today managed to get to Madrid yesterday. We do still have Frankfurt, so we may have a few people on today that might be going tomorrow. And then we'll have our final roadshow that will be in Mexico. So quite a lot of events we've done. And whilst it's great doing these digital events, there's nothing better than meeting in person. And I know today, certainly we've got a lot of product teams that help us. They're often at the roadshow. So if you do get a chance to get to those final ones, then we would love to see you in person. There will certainly be someone from customer success, if not a few, and also an opportunity to meet with the product teams and also our leadership. So really closing it for the year. We're almost there, and as soon as we do have new dates for next year, we'll be showcasing those and letting you all know. So you will see them a lot of the time in my webinars that I do with product teams directly, or some of these workshops that we're running. Next slide is just a Gartner slide. So you may have seen this at the roadshow. So a bit of a plug if you're working closely with us. And if you can move to the next slide, Riddy.
Yeah.
We often ask for feedback. So you may see product managers asking this, or you might have got sent something out as a survey individually through our system. But if you are working with our Helix platform, we would love to get your feedback. This doesn't directly go to us, it goes to Gartner. And if it's selected and published, then they do give gift cards as well. So don't worry about taking the details now, but there is a link there that's available, and also a QR code. And I do know that a few people were asking earlier about if we're sharing this content out. Absolutely. Just give us a little bit of time to get this edited, and then you will get a thank you email with the recording, the slides, the configuration guide. Again, I'm hoping everyone's got that now. I have sent it out to big mass list of people joining today. And we will also have the configuration guide listed and on our community page as well, which leads me very nicely to the final slide before we go to the Q&A live. Do you want to just take the last slide up?
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully some of you have done a couple of workshops already with us. And if you see anything with the same title, they are actually the same session. There just is a different opportunity. If one, you haven't got to a full session. Two, if it's a better time zone. Also, if you do know anyone that it's of interest, please share the link. So the link you would have signed up for the first sessions, it is the same link to add yourself to other sessions. If you have any problems with it, you can reach out directly to me. My number is plastered everywhere, or email address. Do reach out to me. But as far as getting all the content, if you want everything condensed into one place under the workshop group, which you'll see at the bottom, one of the hyperlinks, and again, you'll get this with the slides in there, that link will take you directly to a blog post which will have where the recording is in one place, where the Q&A is, and if you want to ask any further questions, at the top of the workshop group you will actually see ask. I would encourage you to do it, because what it gives is the opportunity for other customers and other people asking similar questions. And it also gives you the opportunity to work with this team directly here, so we can get your questions answered. And then if there's anything individually that you need, the final poll that I'm going to push out very shortly, it asks where you are in your journey and if you need any further help. So many opportunities to contact this team, not just Riddy, but the rest of our wonderful team. Too many to mention that's in the background answering your questions. The calendar is also a list of when those dates are coming. And seeing as I'm quite fortunate to also have Hugo on here, who is managing this workshop program, he'll let you know. We have got some other workshops coming up, so I'm not going to steal your thunder, Hugo. Do you want to just mention what else is coming up and
Yep.
anything else that I might have missed off while I start unmuting everyone?
Sure. Thank you, Sam. Right. So as Sam mentioned, we have these already in place, right? We have Insight Finder, we have Service Collaborator, we have Service Catalog Curator, and then we are currently developing 3 additional workshops for Employee Navigator, another one for Ops Warmer, and then we're also looking at how we deploy CMDB Governor along with CMDB modernization programs. So please stay tuned for that space so you can see additional dates coming forward for these additional sessions as we roll them out. And again, just to emphasize, the workshops are not limited. So if you do need additional assistance, have additional questions, as Rudy mentioned at the beginning, if you have a CSM assigned to you, please reach out to the CSM. They will engage with our HAA team to work with you one-on-one, and that'll be to answer any additional questions around prerequisites, technical configurations, or if you just want a one-on-one session to help you configure any of the agents I mentioned, please reach out and we'll be happy to assist in any way we can.
Absolutely. And if you don't know who your customer success manager is, if you either want to put that in the community or reach out to either myself or Hugo, we will also find someone to contact you as well. And as they're not limited, if there's anyone else that hasn't signed up for them yet because they don't have an engagement with a CSM or an adoption specialist, we're more than happy to have others attend. So if you do know of other sessions coming up that might be useful for your global team, please share that same link that you signed up. Okay, I think that's most of the content we want to ask. So I think, Riddy, we have had I say quite a lot of questions that have come in. So thank you to the team that have been answering away while you've been presenting. So we've got a question that's still open, and Deepak, I can see you're about to answer, and you have just, but because we're very privileged to have Deepak, who runs the digital workplace with CAF. He's one of our product managers. Do you want to just answer that question live? And it gives people an opportunity if they've got any other product related questions. Sorry to pick on you, Deepak. Can you hear us okay, Deepak? I don't know if you can come off mute. Okay, why Deepak? Seeing if he can come off. I can see two of Deepak on here. Somehow you're on both two systems. Someone was asking about the GPT help building workflows, and I saw just at the point I went to go and ask you to unmute, you had mentioned that it was on a roadmap, and I think that was from
Yeah,
Care. Yes.
I'm back. I just
Hello.
had some microphone issues. Yes. All right. I responded to that question. It should not happen that you are not able to use other configured model. I definitely recommend please raise a support case. We can just quickly take a look at it. It may be difficult to analyze what's going on without looking at the logs. But if you have multiple models and you want to just try different models and the accuracy, it should work with different models. That's the whole idea of Helix GPT Studio. With any skill, any agent, you can have different models and you should be able to see the response, how the agent is responding. Yeah. So should not happen. We can quickly take a look at your system. I definitely recommend raise a support ticket and we can have somebody to troubleshoot it with you.
Great, thank you, Deepak. And I don't know if Kerr is still on, but if he wants to, oh yes, I can see you're still there. He's asked another question. I don't know if this is one you can answer, Deepak. What about introducing OpenAI 5.0? Will that be available soon as well?
Yeah, so addition to the ongoing, the new models, that's always, it doesn't always match with our product release cycle. There is always, difference of a release or two releases really from when the vendors really do that. Our primary target is to always be compliant and to always support most up to date. As you can see, yesterday, even you had Gemini, Google introduced 3.0 Gemini, right? So it will take time because we have to test all of these models, with all our agents. Yes, but always expect at least, a little bit of heads up time when these models are released. We do our due diligence and then release. But yeah, GPT, 5.0 is already on our roadmap, and as of now, I know teams are already looking to test it in the upcoming release, and hopefully we should have it available to you all by next release, next major release.
Thanks, Deepak. If there's any further questions, Kerr, let us know. And Riddhi, I can see you're answering Nirav's last question. I think that's from another question that he'd asked before. Do you want to just pick that one up live as well?
Yeah, sure. So I'm sharing another doc where we are mentioning the models in the BMC Helix GPT. Once you scroll down, you will see the option called LLM supported by the BMC Helix Digital Workspace, where we are mentioning the Service Catalog Curator. If I can, let me share my screen. So this is the document that we are referring right now, and it is for the 25.3. Once you scroll down, you will notice that there is a option, or the details are available. The LLM supported by the BMC Helix Digital Workspace, the Service Catalog Curator, where we are supporting the OpenAI, Microsoft Azure OpenAI, and the Google Vertex. I'm copying this link into the chat for your reference.
Yeah, and just to add one more, I don't know if Sam, we have the link in the slide for resources somewhere. Maybe we can just share the original webinar that I did in the beginning when we just went live with the agent. There were a lot of questions that I was trying to answer on the supported areas, right? What is supported, what is not supported really. It was a short session, so covering everything is not possible. That's why, the and team basically said we can also help you one-on-one. I definitely recommend when Sam shared that webinar that I conducted when we really went live first time with this agent. It gives you a detailed breakup of each section in the DWP catalog that is supported, that is not supported, that is in the roadmap. That's going to give you very granular information. That's also available on our docs.bmc.com site for this catalog curator agent. There are certain areas I tried to do my best to answer all of those questions, but some of these, as you know, you may have a different use case. Like somebody asked me a question about hyperlinks and formatting in the description question. Try it out. It will work. And there are certain areas where people were asking about business workflow cases. Can you create a business workflow case? Not at the moment. It's on the future roadmap. Right now, you can already only support, we only support incident, ITSM tickets, basically incident change problem, though it does not stop you. So what you really can do at the moment with your current version, you create the service, you can always update the service and the workflow in your workflow builder, and you can just drag and drop another brick, which basically creates a BWF case, and that's how you can just select a template and use the exact same structure. So essentially, what it does really, it sets you the framework, right? Even though there may not be conditional questions or lookup type questions at the moment that we are already working on, by the way, it gives you a structure that you can use um, and can start from there. So all, as Riddhi said in the beginning, your 80-70% of time that you would basically use to set up the structure, basic questions, workflow, variables is all taken away by this agent, right? And ultimately, we are aiming towards a perfection where this agent is able to create surveys, this agent is able to create conditional question, lookup type question, dynamic questions, adding IS process to a question for validation. That's all is in the pipeline. That's happening at the moment, in the development field where we are working on it. But it cuts your work to create a service from scratch into more than half, in my opinion. So do look at that webinar too, Sam. If you get chance, please share that link and yeah.
I will put that on the Q&A, and I'll get you to just give me a short summary so everyone's got it, the context, and just what you said I'll summarize. So no, that's great. Thank you. Good idea. We don't normally have resources slide because they tend to be standard webinars rather than workshops, but this is the beauty of having a PM on. Gives us the opportunity to share that, and absolutely, I think that's a great idea. Okay. So Kara's got another question. I think it's a he or she, apologies. I think it's great that we can connect the LLM models as we wish, but I hope BMC Helix will keep up the models that, for example, Azure is making available. So I don't know, Deepak, if you want to respond to that. And Kara, don't worry, a lot of questions is good. And feel free to come off mute.
Yeah, absolutely. We are, as it's a ever evolving, like system where you have too many models really released every day, right? You have on-prem models, you have, the models provided by all of these hyperscalers, and they're coming at a very rapid pace, right? So our, like we cannot be compliant with every model, right? We also do testing on some of the smaller, low-scale models like minis, mini models that are generated. Our product may not fit into every possible model. This is something that I would like to tell you when we do QA testings, when we get it done, because our number of parameters are so huge sometimes that these models can't handle. So we cannot expect every model to be supported. That's why we have to be little picky in terms of, making a balance between low-cost models and the bigger models, right? Because we also need to consider our customers may not have always, budget for bigger models, right? So we are also trying to make a balance between the smaller models, the one that accepts small parameters, as well as the bigger models, right, which are heavy on number of parameters that it can accept. And it takes time because we have so many agents to validate. So things are always going. That's why we always take a little bit of heads up, in terms of when these hyperscalers are releasing the models. We pick it up, we thoroughly test it, and then you can always expect that by the next major release, you will find support for most of these. But it is not right to say that we will support every possible model. That's impossible, in my opinion. I mean, it doesn't even make sense from the complexity of the product perspective to support all of those.
Thanks, Deepak. Okay. Any other questions? We don't have any more in the chat, but I do want to just check. Shyam, I know working in development as well. Was there anything else that you would like to add additional to what Deepak shared? Because most of the team on here are customer success, so we're working on the workshops. Just want to give you the opportunity to also share any feedback.
Hey, hi Sam. Everything is already covered by Deepak and Riddhi.
Great. That
Thanks.
means that we're doing a good job. Thank you. You never know if you picked up on anything because we've had a lot of questions today, and that's going to take quite some time to get those Q&A. And actually, that's just a note to everyone. If you want to see any of the questions from all the past sessions, again, they're documented on the community pages. They're incredibly helpful. Use them as a resource. I will try once we finish the workshop, certainly for these particular agents, to get them all in one summary document. But for now, go and have a look back in the past sessions because some of your questions you might have may have already been answered. So do take a look in them. And if you're struggling to find that, do let me know. But I'm hoping it's quite clear for you.
And just to add, can
Hmm.
I leave everybody with an action item? I don't like to do that, but something that to make it more fun and interactive, right? For gamification, really, for our agents. Please try it out. You can, I recommend all of you. I know I cannot be in touch with everybody. Just raise ideas on community. Feel free to tag me into that idea, okay? At Deepak Rudra, or Carl Anders on directly on community. That will have our immediate attention. We do scan ideas weekly, but if you tag me and Carl Anders directly, we will be able to have like a direct notification that, we are tagged. And I'm talking about this agent specifically, Catalog Curator agent. If you have any feedback, any enhancement request, I would love to hear from all of you. So please do tag me. That's the best way of directly getting in touch with me and my peer, Carl Anders.
Absolutely. And I will put a little note, Deepak, because some people may not have done ideas before, but I'll give you some very basic instructions on how to do that, to put the idea in. And actually, if you feel it someone else's is a good idea, the best way to get those raised up in priority, because it's all about collaboration, is to upvote someone else's. So again, you can actually do a search on the product page of that given product, and I'll put the direct link in for Service Catalog so you know where you can do those. Raise your ideas, and as Deepak said, if you at reference someone, so the at sign, it will go directly to them as well. But I'll put a brief instruction because it's been quite a while since I've done webinars showing customers how to use the community, but maybe that'll be a good one for January again to start off the new year. Okay. For those that obviously haven't filled in the poll yet, that poll 2 is being launched. That's just really to get some feedback from you today to see how confident you feel and if you want other in languages. So if you can fill that in, I can see quite a few of you have. 53% has participated, so there's a few more of you hiding. If you could just fill that in. Other than that, I'll go to the panelists because many of you have all been on various different workshops. Is there anyone else apart from Riddhi that wants to share anything else that they've picked up from past sessions? Because obviously this is our first one for Service Catalog. So if you've got anything you want to share, please come off mute.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Samantha?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
Corey here.
Hello.
I just wanted to tell you that I'm actually a man.
I couldn't tell. It's a very unusual name. Thank
It's
you.
perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. But I have some questions regarding the curator. Is it can it create like with a conditional branch and so on also, so that you have supported?
Yeah, that's work in progress at the moment. So conditional branching
Yeah.
and qualification for dynamic, for the lookup type questions, and then questions for tables and all of that. That's in progress at the moment. So it can only support like questions with static values and then no conditions at the moment, right? But you will see it in upcoming roadmap, in upcoming releases that we are having. I'm already working with team on getting it developed. I've seen some working models on that already. So we'll do a gradual rollout. I'm looking at a smaller section for surveys first, where you have surveys created by this, and try to see the conditions, because what tends to happen really is these conditions tend to get really long, and especially with the questionnaires, when you have those forms, it can become multiple pages, right? The
Yeah.
problem with this is at the moment, really, it's chatified. So it's all chat experience. How do we fit all of those conditions and the form factor to tell you visually, so that the cognitive load on the end user is less to understand those conditions, right? Technology wise, we don't see any problem, but I think from the usability perspective, we are still trying to evaluate what do we do when you have multi-page questions, and you have like 4 or 5 set of conditions. So you will see something in the next release, that's in the winter, like January, February timeframe, whenever it happens, around the conditions. And then I'm also working on with my team right now for complex questions like lookup, right? And then table type questions and all of that. So you will see some progress soon. It's on our roadmap. We are not giving up on that.
Yeah, and why I stress this with the LLM models is that we have where in my company we are on the latest version in Azure, and we see a lot of initiatives coming from outside, people creating agents, and well, we want to have it inside the tool, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So therefore, I urge and I hope that BMC can be able to keep up with the models.
Yeah.
Not too far away from the latest, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do get your point, what you're trying to say. Yeah.
So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your questions. Okay, I don't think we have any more, but just to recap, we do have our next sessions coming up next week. So if you're looking at all of the agents, we have 2 on the 25th, so that's Tuesday. So before many of you go on to holiday leave in the US. So the workshops are going to be in APAC and India, so pretty early for me, but we've got one for RC Expert Service Collaborator. So if you've got a lot of questions on Service Collaborator, come and join us for the morning one. So that's going to be better for the India APAC and if you've got any colleagues in that region. So that's an opportunity for any questions related to it. Then we also have the second session, which is the same, but it will be in the EMEA and Americas, and that will be on Tuesday the 25th. So there's a double session then. And then the next one for Service Catalog Curator, what we've been talking about today, will be on Thursday, December the 4th, and at the same time. So if there's any colleagues that have missed it, again, if you use the link, which I will put into your thank you email again, sign up, or if you're having any problems adding sessions because you've already done that, reach out to me directly and I'll manually do it. But thank you everyone that's joined today. Thank you, Riddy, for presenting the first one of many sessions we've got. We've got them right up until the end of January. Do keep a lookout on the webinar page. I put it also on the workshop page, the calendar, when we start getting new ones. Follow those pages, and thank you everyone that supported us today, and we hope to see you next week on the next sessions or the following week right up until mid-December, and then we're going to take a bit of a break. But any questions, reach out to us.